For the record, worshiping Jesus and worshiping the ancestors can't coexist.
And this is why it's kind of dangerous for everybody to have like a platform. Because regardless of whatever you believe in, you should always do your research and know exactly what it is that you're talking about before you go onto a public stage and start to just spread your rhetoric. Especially when you're talking to Black people. There is a responsibility that we have when we have these platforms to spread knowledge, and not only spread knowledge, but to spread true and accurate information. Again, it doesn't matter what your personal beliefs are. And this is why I've detached myself from religion, because I understand that religion is a concept that humans have created so that we can understand and conceptualize God better. That's my own personal beliefs. Now, I don't push that off on anyone, nor do I tell them that their beliefs are incorrect. When we're talking about respecting the ancestors, we're not talking about worshiping them. And even in the Bible, if you've done your research, even Yeshua, Jesus, says, why does thou praise me? Or for why does thou worship me? Or for why does thou call me good? For none is good but the Father. So he is constantly redirecting us to not worship him, but to, however, follow in his footsteps. When we're talking about when we're talking about the ancestors, we're not worshiping the ancestors. We're respecting the ancestors for where they have come from, respecting them for where we are now, respecting the journey, respecting the path, respecting the lineage. It is not a worshiping. This is why we have to educate ourselves before we get on public platforms, especially when we're talking to Black people. And we have to make sure that we're giving true and accurate information. I understand that you may be a Christian, and I understand that this is your own personal belief system. But my brother, please, when you're talking about African spirituality, educate yourself, because a lot of the systems in which we live now practice the things that we have been shunned away from and have been taught to be afraid of. Okay? Look at the Starbucks symbol. Figure out who that is. I'm just going to give you that little piece of homework first. Before we even start to even just dive into and discuss anything any further, I just want you to remember that when you get on these public platforms and when you're speaking to your people, know what you're talking about before you just spew out information that is rhetoric that we've been taught from generation to generation to generation, wondering why we're still in the same position, spiritually, mentally, physically. Educate yourself first before you go just spewing information. We need to be educated in the right ways. Yeah.